Howard, Hannah. Welcome to the homework review for Engage. So in the previous video, kind of went over the tool, and in this session, I'm just going to basically just walk through the homework questions. So import a list of 5 clients through Outlook. Basically, we want to get under the My People tab here. And once that opens up, we are going to click the gear to the top right. And you will notice that there are green and there are blue menu items. The blue items change depending on what tab you are under. So that's why it's really important to be under the People tab in order for this Import Outlook CSV menu option to come up. Now with the Hannah Outlook mail, that should all be communicated back and forth automatically between the Hannah mail and the Engage contacts should be the same. However, if they are trying to get a different Outlook or a Gmail, usually when you export contacts, there's an option to export as an Outlook CSV, and we want to make sure that the agents choose that one. If there is no template, if maybe they have a list in Excel, if we just click on Help Center, it will give you, click here to download the required CSV template, and then they can just copy and paste into those fields. Then they would simply select the file and it would import. So again, to import contacts, the My People tab, gear, import Outlook CSV, and then select the file. That's question number 1. Question number 2, set or edit your sales volume goals. This is actually huge right now. We are coming towards the end of the year, looking towards the next one. So this is just a great little, 3 to 5 minute tip you could give during a sales meeting or something to just remind agents, hey, how was your goal for this year? Let's look at next year and make sure we get that set up and engage. So under the Goals tab, I'm going to click the gear again, and my blue options have changed, and I now have sales volume goal. If I click on that, 2021 shows up, and I can just change that to be what I want. So that's how your agents would do it, and then they can see their past years and view them, so they can kind of see how they've progressed over the years. Question number 3, edit your neighborhood news message. So if I click on this gear, Engage settings will always be there. It's a green menu item, so no matter what tab you're under, it will be there. And we're going to go all the way to the bottom to neighborhood news. Here's your default message, and you would just click edit. But we of course don't want to touch this link to full report because that's a link and we don't want to mess with it. Here they can change anything that they want to make it sound more personal. If maybe they're sharing the neighborhood news on their social media and they're not sure what to say about it, they could come here, maybe copy over a few sentences with that. And as always, if something gets messed up, there's this reset to company message, and they can just click that and they'll go back to the default and they can start fresh again. So that's a lifesaver button. Question number 4 is using a contact, add a house anniversary, subscribe to neighborhood news, add a specific task, and add a note. So basically what you can do while you're in an actual contact and Engage. So we're going to go to People, My People again. That's our contact hub. And we're just going to click on this person right here to open up her profile. So we can see right here, I'm clicking the tabs on the left to get, different options on the right. So right now I want to edit, and here I can edit any information about her I want. I can add a last name, address, and right here under dates, here's where I can add that house anniversary right there. So that's, how you can edit and update a profile if things have changed. Then we're going to just go down to the next one, notes, add a note. So right here, if we click edit, we are able to write in any type of generic note about this client right here. It all kind of comes up in one paragraph. So agents can use that for, basic general information. These are the attorneys they use, or any kind of notes like that. They can even, if they want to just type in the date first and then write a note, they can do that and just space them out with paragraphs. If they want a more timeline approach to their notes, I suggest to go to activity, and they can just create this custom activity here, where if they had a phone call, they met in person, they can kind of write some notes about it. Here, and then it's going to show up in a timeline approach. So if they're looking through to see the last time they contacted a person, what was said, they can do that here. Subscriptions. So if we continue to scroll down to on the left side, we see subscriptions, and here we could add neighborhood news or the listing announcements, and we can see what active subscriptions that they have. So I would just click add and then zip postal code only, or I can do a custom targeted search. So if the zip code might not work for the specific zip code they live in, the agent can set them up that way. But that's how you would add that for that. And then lastly, adding a specific task. So then when we are under this right here, this is a transaction. They're in the prospect zone of a buyer. You can see all the generic tasks that are set up in Task Manager. But then also if I click add a task, I can do a specific one where I can say, maybe check in on them for pizza and write a note, and I can set the date for that. I can even add it to my calendar, and then I could save that, and it's going to show up down there. And so that's how you can add a specific task that only applies to this client. As we continue on, question number 5 is how do you check the client's activity or subscriptions? So of course, client activity we showed here, you can kind of see your interactions with them. Subscriptions, you can see here if they had an active one. There's a couple other places though for neighborhood news. If we are under the dashboard now and we go to activity feed, we can see when neighborhood news emails were sent out. Or if we go under the campaigns tab, there is a neighborhood news section right here where the agent can kind of see in a nutshell how many people they have, the open rate, the unsubscribe rate, and scroll through here. So really if they kind of want to know how their neighborhood news emails are going, what is the reach rate on that, this is the best place to send them. Campaigns, neighborhood news, and they can see it in a nutshell. Question number 6 is add a non-MLS transaction. So we're going to go back to My People, so People tab, My People, and we're going to click on someone. And so right here in their profile again, there's an add transaction. And I just have to come over here and click non-MLS. Depending on if they're a buyer or seller, the options will change, but you can then fill all this out so that the agent can keep up with their goals and put this in if it's not in the MLS. So if they have a buyer that's looking at a FSBO, the agent can still put this information in here so they can keep tracking their progress towards their goal. And so you basically just fill this out and click done. So now we're going to go back to the My People page to look at creating a group and how do you filter and categorize people. Because these are 2 very important things that your agents should be doing. So under the My People tab, there's this Edit Group button. And then they can just click up here at the top, create a new group, put in the name, and click Create. This is super important now that Campaigns is up and running. In this module, we did not actually go over Campaigns just because that's a lot for one tool. And so at the end, I will show you the YouTube playlist where you guys can look at more campaign-specific help videos. These also will connect with their Outlook contacts, these groups. So they would just create here. Then to filter and categorize their people, we click Filter here. This is super great for your agents because they can see in a nutshell their sales flow, clients, buyers, sellers, past or buyers or sellers. They can see any non-clients in here, and they can see action needed. So if they're maybe not sure, you know, who in their COI they should be reaching out to right now. You know, maybe they want to click on missing email addresses and go through those clients, reach out to them and try to get those email addresses. Also over here we have my groups, campaigns, and lead sources. So really they can filter their people almost any way they want to, for missing information, for what groups they're in, you know, what campaigns are out there, as well as their sales flow and where, you know, they're getting leads, Real Scout, buy side. And to categorize, again, there is this Categorize Wizard button, which once their task managers are all set up, they could go through and make clients and put them as seller or buyer prospects, or put them in the just generic marketing plan. So that's basically all of the questions that we had today. Again, I wanted to show you, if you go to YouTube and you just search Howard Hanna Education and Training, this channel will pop up. I definitely recommend you guys subscribe to it, because then you'll see any new content that comes out from the education team, Wednesday webinars, any tools updates, and that way, I mean, you can watch it if it's something you're interested in, or you can just, you know, ignore it if it's not something you're interested in, but you'll at least know what's coming out. So we have Wednesday webinars, which we've really been doing 20-minute focus items, walking through Engage. Again, point your agents here as well. Anyone can log on to YouTube or look at YouTube and watch any of these. So definitely use this to point your agents to that. We also have a specific Engage playlist, and we try to title things very specifically so that, you know, you can see what you want to learn and just go straight there. Also, for Southeast region, Nita Everton is working on the Game Changer series and putting that up. It's going through editing right now, but that playlist will be available for you guys as well. And so this is your Engage training. Again, if you want more campaign training, you can come to Engage or Wednesday webinar playlist on YouTube. And your education team is always here to answer any other questions that you guys have. But thank you for coming today. Have a great weekend.